Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Olympia D here, and I'm coming back to you with another episode in my series of strange occurrences. So, tonight I'm going to be talking to you about a case involving a young lady or a woman coming out of Cleveland. I'm going to read the article and I'm going to give my opinion on the facts. Bennett Renee Smith loved to write poetry and sing. Family members described her as sweet, gentle, and artistically talented, but her life was one of many struggles. The 54-year-old grandmother was diagnosed with schizophrenia and wrestled with drug addiction for most of her adult life. Like many Americans, without ready access to mental health services or addiction and recovery services, Smith often spent time living on the streets, bouncing between shelters and jails where mental health treatment is often sparse. Family members said they grew concerned for Smith's safety when she didn't respond to phone calls and texts on January 23rd, 2020, as they tried to wish her a happy birthday. Within 3 weeks, they would learn her grisly fate. Cleveland firefighters discovered her dismembered body on February 19th in a smoldering brush pile in a field near train tracks in the city's Collingwood neighborhood. The county medical examiner on Wednesday identified her with DNA analysis, and Cleveland police are investigating the case as a suspected homicide. The medical examiner has not made an official ruling on how she died, and as of Saturday, Cleveland police have made no arrest or released any details about a possible suspect. Smith's death horrified her family and left them saddened and searching for answers as to who took her life. "I don't know what kind of evil monster could do this," her brother Bobby Jones said. "It's hard to fathom the evilness among us. What could you do to make someone do that to you? She had her demons, as we all do, but she was a sweet soul. She dealt with her issues as best she could." The lack of affordable and accessible mental health resources has created an undue burden on communities. Smith grew up in Painesville and was one of 10 children. Her death marked the second tragedy that befell her siblings. Her brother Robert Jones was a state champion wrestler at Painesville Harvey High School. He was stabbed to death on Christmas Eve 1982 when Smith was 15. "That really affected our family," Smith's sister Kim Woodford said. Smith loved writing poetry from a young age and continued to share her poems with her family. She cooked dinners for her family, specializing in soups, Woodford stated. She loved to be around the family, but she was a free spirit and she wanted to live on her own terms. She cycled through periods of being off her medication, using crack cocaine, and getting arrested, mostly for petty crimes, followed by stretches where she was fine. She was arrested several times, beginning in 1989 for drug possession or fights. Her brother-in-law, Philip McGee, a 30-year administrator for the Illinois prison system, said she received little or no care for her mental illness during her stretches in jail or in prison. "There's not a person who got more additional time served for more minor offenses than her," McGee said. "She wasn't a criminal, but the system had nothing available or anyone to help her figure out what to do with herself. They didn't have the will to provide services. When she left the jail system, she often went to group homes that provided some treatment but not the best. She would stay for a time with her family members but wanted to live on her own, and she spent time in and out of homeless shelters in Cleveland. Treatment seemed to help, but it was rarely continuous to the degree in which she required. Despite her struggles, she maintained relationships with her family and daughters," her sister Paula McGee stated. Her family suspected nothing out of the ordinary in her day-to-day life in the months leading up to her death. Along with her siblings, she attended a January 10th funeral for a cousin. 4 days after the funeral, staff at the Norma Hare Women's Shelter in downtown Cleveland took her to university hospitals after she had wanted to harm herself or others. She also claimed that she had a gun somewhere. She was eventually transferred to a hospital in Lake County. Her cousin Paul Hardin picked her up from the hospital, and she seemed fine and talked about buying some shoes and picking up money from the Western Union. She was going in and out of group homes and treatments, and no one could pinpoint to get her back upright in her life. Her family members said they never believed Smith was in danger of being treated or targeted for a violent crime. "It's evil and it's very unnecessary. Nothing justifies that. She was very kind." And therein lies the end of the article. So this is a very, once again, disturbing and horrifying case. So this woman had mental illness and drug abuse problems, which has absolutely nothing to do with how she died, because the way that she died and the manner that she died, an animal shouldn't die like that. And it's very, very disgusting. And the sickest part about it is that the person or persons who did this is still out there. They've never been caught to this day. This was last year, and no one knows who did this to this lady. And I get it that people have mental illness and they have drug problems. That does not justify what happened to her and the way that she died. So, a lot of people try to throw that into the mix when people who have those issues come up in a very suspicious situation and they try to blame the victim. Even if she did have those issues, it doesn't take away from the fact that she was still the victim all the way around in the situation. I'm so sorry for her family. She did not deserve this. She had a hard life, and the way that she died, an animal wouldn't be deserving to die like that. And I know she's in a better place, and may she rest in peace. Leave your comments what you think about this case and what you think about this sad situation coming out of Cleveland. Like and subscribe for more true crime and strange occurrence videos like this. Stay safe, everybody.